Has anybody here in New York got a match? Thanks. Now I can light an old gold and listen to Frank Sinatra.
Night and day, you are the one, only you neath the moon or under the sun.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, from New York City, Old Gold Cigarettes, the treasure of them all, presents Songs by Sinatra.
The Hoboken Heavyweight. Okay, Dick Stark, and to everybody along the CBS right away, a good Wednesday evening from New York. Axel boy, let's toss it back and forth here for a minute. I gotta get limbered up. Gotta get the kinks out of my tonsils. Shoo-Fly pie, and Dowdy makes your eyes light up. Your tummy say howdy. Shoo-Fly pie and apple pan Dowdy. I never get enough of that wonderful stuff. Shoo-Fly pie and apple pan Dowdy makes the sun come out when heavens are cloudy. Shoo-Fly pie and apple pan Dowdy. I never get enough of that wonderful stuff. Mama, when you bake, Mama, I don't want cake. Mama, for my sake, go to the oven and make some ever-loving Shoo-Fly pie. An apple pan Dowdy makes your eyes light up. Your tummy say howdy. Shoo-Fly pie and apple pan Dowdy. I never get enough of that wonderful stuff. Mama, when you bake, Mama, I don't want cake. Mama, for my sake, get to the oven and make some lovin' shoe pie. Apple Dowdy makes your eyes light up and your tummy say howdy. Shoo-Fly pie and apple pan Dowdy. I never get enough of that wonderful stuff. And it's fattening, too. Never get enough of that song. Shoo-Fly pie, apple pan Dowdy. Sounds like Axel Stordall's middle name. And say, is this Stordall ever happy to be in New York? Look at that face. Isn't it beaming? Look at that head. Ain't it gleaming? Hey, Ax. How come you were so anxious to get back to New York?
Oh, it's on account of my brother Finn.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, my brother Finn wrote to me and said, hurry home. There's 100,000 more women than men in New York.
So? There's 100,000 more women than men. So what?
So with odds like that, maybe I'll get a date.
Axel, my boy, the whole thing doesn't interest me a bit. I am through with the girls. Through, I tell you.
The odds keep getting better by the hour. But, Frank, what's happened? How come you're through with the girls?
Haven't you seen the show business magazine billboard?
No, what does it say?
Billboard says, stop padding your lines. Billboard says, New York gals have transferred their attention to the singers of the Metropolitan Opera.
Well, maybe it's a good thing for you, Frank. Some of those girls used to mob you.
Now they're over at the Met, mobbing Melchior.
Some of those girls used to grab both ends of your bow tie and pull till your eyes bugged out.
Now they're over at the Met pulling out long hair. Axel, so help me, I'll never speak to another girl as long as I live. No exceptions.
Hello there, you great big hunk of noise.
I'll make one last exception. Neighbors, direct from the Philco Radio Hall of Fame, Miss Martha Tilton. Welcome to the Old Gold Show, Martha, and tell me, how was your trip in from Celluloid Junction?
Oh, swell, Frank, and how was yours?
Mighty mellow, Martha, really cozy. We latched onto one of those new four-motor Skymasters of American Airlines. From MGM to Macy's basement in 13 hours.
You know, Frank, I love flying, too. But one thing always irritates me. My ears always pop when we come down.
Why be irritated? Chew a stick of... everybody's ears pop a little when they gain or lose altitude.
Well, did your ears pop a little, too, Frank?
Well, it was scarcely noticeable, Martha. As we nosed down for our landing at LaGuardia Field, my ears went... And that's all there was to it.
Well, did Axel Stordahl's ears pop, Frank?
Well, they didn't exactly pop, Martha. You see, Axel has a great ear for music, so instead of his ears popping, they went... But let's talk of Tilton. What are you crooning tonight, Martha?
Crooning?
Yeah, crooning. That's the feminine for crooning.
Oh, I see. Well, how about Blue Skies?
That's for me, gal. That's rich and creamy. I feel that. Axel, activate it.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebird singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my, how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my, how they fly. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Nothing but blue skies from now
Fine, Martha, fine. Coast to coast, that didn't hurt you one bit. And as they say in Missouri, drop down now. In other words, catch a little rest before the next round. Comes now our fabulous foursome, those famous recording artists, the Pied Pipers, with an old-fashioned madrigal of spring, a delightful bit of musical lavender and lace. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pipers.
When clouds start to gather and they get you in a lather, breaking down your normal stability, it is neither wise nor proper for a gent to blow his topper. Why be irritated, light and OG?
Yes, light and old gold for comfort, for pleasure. The comfort of extra protection against cigarette dryness, the pleasure of luxurious extra flavor. You see, Old Gold gives you the benefit of a remarkable moisture-protecting agent we call apple honey. Made from the juice of fresh apples, it helps prevent cigarette dryness. And for extra flavor, bouquet, aroma, Old Gold adds a touch of Latakia tobacco to give you a tastier smoke, a friendlier smoke. Yes, light an Old Gold and enjoy the priceless comfort, the sheer pleasure of a truly great cigarette.
Oh, since I got me a cigarette with Latakia, nothing seems to jar my serenity. For a future bright and sunny, try a smoke with apple honey. Why be irritated like an OG?
One of the more beautiful things I've run into lately, and I refer to music, is the Rachmaninoff Concerto for Piano. I hope I may be able to do it justice, for after all, I'm not a piano. You know that this melody and its words today is, you know, there's full moon and empty arms. Axel, shall we attempt it? Full moon and empty arms. The moon is there for us to share, but where are you? A night like this could weave a memory, and every kiss could start a dream for two. Full moon and empty arms. Tonight I'll use the magic moon to wish upon, and the next full moon, if my one wish comes true, my empty arms will be filled with you. Full moon and empty arms. Tonight I'll use the magic moon to wish upon, and next full moon, if my one wish comes true, my empty arms will be filled with you. You know, I got a hunch that melody's going to live to a ripe old age. Say, Pied Pipers, would you like to help a lot of crippled youngsters learn to walk?
Are you kidding? Of course we would.
Would you like to make sure that more artificial limbs and appliances are made available to veterans?
What are you driving at, Frank?
Easter seals, Pipers, Easter seals. Are you loaded with same?
Well, Sinatra, if our Easter seals were all 3-cent stamps and you had 1/2 of them, you could be considered a wealthy man.
Well, now you're talking, kids. Yes, sir, now you're talking, and now you're singing. Kick it loose, Pipers, kick it. Kick it.
There's a doctor living in your town. There's a lawyer and an Indian, too. Neither doctor, lawyer, or Indian chief could love you any more than I do. There's a barrel of fish in the ocean and a lot of little birds in the blue. Neither fish nor fowl, says the wise old owl, could love you any more than I do. No, 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 it couldn't be true that anyone else could love you like I do. I'm gonna warn all the daylight dicks that you're the chick with the slickest tricks, and every tick of my ticker ticks for you follow through. Tell the doc to stick to his practice. Tell the lawyer to settle his case. Send the engine chief
And his Tommy Hawk
back to Little Rain in the face. 'Cause you know, no, it couldn't be true that anyone else could love you like I do. And confidentially I will say, I'll send a note to the OPA. Gotta find us a place to stay. So you take your cue. Tell the doc to stick to his cycles. Tell the lawyer I'm liable to sue. Send the engine chief, his Tommy Hawk, back to his pa wahoo. 'Cause you know, no, it couldn't be true. Anyone else could love you like I do. Like I do. Like I do.
Now, neighbors, I'd like you to meet an old friend of mine with a great voice. A fellow who was singing great guns and then had to take time out when the great guns of war started booming. He's back home now, though. Back in civvies and back on the road to the top. And here he is, Mr. Clark Dennis. So settle back, kids, and get a load of one of our country's top tenors. Sing it, old man.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh, why can't I? Happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow. Why, oh, why can't I?
Magnifique, molto bene, Clark. Clark, that was bigger than the Yankee Stadium. Dick Stark, wasn't that wonderful?
Yes, it was thrilling, Frank. In fact, it sort of made me wish that I, too, were a singer.
That's funny. I often wish the very same thing myself.
Well, of course, my ambition is to be an operatic singer. Can't you just hear me in my debut at the Met?
No, I can't hear you. Maybe you're not singing loud enough.
There I'm doing the Barbara of Seville, like this. Cigarette, 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 cigarette.
Here, Enrico, have an old gold.
Thank you, Frank. Of course, everybody would offer me an old gold, and then I'd light one, step to the footlights, and say, my friends, you are wise in your choice of a cigarette, because old gold is the cigarette that does more to give you more. In old gold, you get more than a blend of the world's choicest tobaccos. You get an added detail, Latakia tobacco, for extra flavor and bouquet. Yes, and old golds give you more than the ordinary moistening agent, because in this cigarette, you get the special humectant, apple honey, which helps prevent cigarette dryness. Why, even the paper on old gold adds a special luxury to your smoking, for it's made from virgin pure flax, converted into snow-white, smooth, even-burning cigarette paper. Ask for old golds at your tobacco counter. Look for them in the cigarette vending machines. Smoke an old gold. Then see exactly what we mean when we say, to get more out of your smoking, enjoy the cigarette that does more to give you more. Old gold.
Thank you, Richard. And say, Clark Dennis, that rendition of Over the Rainbow is still echoing around the room here. That was mighty, mighty big and exciting, Clark.
Thanks a lot, Frank.
Martha Tilton, Clark didn't sing like that when we were all kids, did he?
Well, no, he didn't, Frank, but don't forget, when we were kids, we were doing our singing out of the Mother Goose book.
Martha, what Goose Book aria were you humming when you were 6 and sassy?
Well, if you boys promise not to heckle, I'll tell you.
Okay.
A tisket, a tasket, a green and yellow basket. I wrote a letter to my love, and on the way I dropped it. I dropped it, I dropped it, and on the way I dropped it. Take it, Frank.
A little girlie picked it up, and she put it in her pocket.
Murder! That must set Mother Goose back 500 years. Clark, tell me, when you were a worldly wise gentleman of 7, what tune were you crooning?
Well, Frank, I was partial to one of Mrs. Goose's little goslings that goes like this. Onesie little, twosie little, threesie little Indians, foursy little, fivesy little, sixy little Indians, sevensy little, eightsy little, ninesy little Indians, tensy little Indian boys.
Ah, yes, Mother Goose, there's bad news tonight.
Well, Frank, what about you? When you were a gate of 8, what kind of Mother Goose jive were you digging?
Well, I had a little thing that was big wherever the sawed-off set gathered to discuss pea shooters, baby turtles, jelly beans, and long licorice. You may recall this one, if we can remember it. Little Jack Horner sat in a corner eating a Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "Does anybody get a match?" You know, another thing I love about the children's tunes, the kitty ditty, it takes so little time. I mean, that alone makes it ideal for radio.
Well, Mother Goose tunes would make perfect opening songs, Frank.
You can say that again. Each Wednesday, we knock ourselves out for an opening tune that won't run over a minute and a half. With Mother Goose tunes, we could open the show in 11 seconds.
We'll time you on one, Frank. Go ahead.
Okay. Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, din, din, do, din, din, do. Where'd that run, Clark? 11 seconds?
No, that only ran 9 seconds, Frank.
See what I mean? Mother Goose gives you 2 more extra seconds for the commercial. Time for an extra Latakia and 1 more apple honey.
Well, speaking of time, Clark, isn't it time we skip along?
Oh, wait a minute. What's your hurry?
Yeah, Martha, Frank's still got his big tune to do.
Oh, phooey on the big tune. Stick around and we'll whomp up a trio on a frog he would a woo and go.
Well, personally, I'd rather listen to you sing Oh, What It Seemed to Be. Wouldn't you, Clark?
Well, I don't know. Personally, I'd...
Well, that's different. If you both insist, okay. Let's go, Axel. It was just a neighborhood dance. That's all that it was. But oh, what it seemed to be. It was like a masquerade ball with costumes and all, 'cause you were at the dance with me. It was just a ride on a train. That's all that it was. But oh, what it seemed to be. It was like a trip to the stars, to Venus and Mars, 'cause you were on the train with me. And when I kissed you, darling, it was more than just a thrill for me. It was the promise, darling, of the things that fate had willed for me. It was just a wedding in June. That's all that it was. But oh, what it seemed to be. It was like a royal affair, with everyone there, 'cause you said, yes, I do, to me. Well, sir, that about ties up another one, I guess. I hope you all enjoyed Martha Tilton and Clark Dennis as much as we in the Old Gold Ruling section did. Next week, as our guest, we meet up with our talented picture sidekick who played in, you know the name of the picture. The one where we had on the sailor suits. Of course, Anchors Away. Yes, sir, next week, neighbors, it's the one and only Gene Kelly. Meanwhile, it's still time. It's still this week, and it's time to put your dreams away for another day. And I will take their place in your heart. Good night, everybody, and may your share of the good things in life come to stay permanently at your house. Good night.
Next Wednesday, don't miss Songs by Sinatra and Frank's guest Gene Kelly with the Pied Pipers and the music of Axel Corridor, presented by Old Gold, whose choice tobaccos are specially conditioned to help guard against cigarette dryness and to give you more smoking pleasure. And say, don't let little annoyances get you down. Why be irritated? Light an Old Gold. The Frank Sinatra Show is written by Glenn Wheaton and produced and directed for Old Gold by Man Hollander. Richard Stark speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia